Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another Sunday night free reading. Okay, so guys, as always, choose pile 1, 2, or 3, whichever number resonates with you, whichever you're attracted to, and that will be your reading for the week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. I really appreciate it. I really do hope these videos are helping. Also, just an FYI, I've got some personal friends of mine called the Mystic Mums that are paranormal clearing specialists. They're on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all of that. Look, some of the stuff they've got is really freaky. I know that they're genuine because they are personal friends of mine. So go check them out on all the socials. Send them some love. So tell them I sent you. And don't forget that I will be live Sunday nights, 7 p.m. on TikTok. But without further ado, let's get into it. Hi guys, Aaron Leaf Green the Green Psychic. Thank you for joining me again on a Sunday night. Okay, so if you chose pile number 1, this is your reading. Just giving you a heads up, this camera might go cattywampus. If it does that, I'm not using it anymore. But okay, so your first card out is a good one. It's the Summon card. It's time. This is a time of relaxation. You need to be kicking your feet up. You need to be taking it easy. Now, obviously, having said it's holiday time and rest and relaxation, obviously not all of us can do that. We've got to work, we've got to pay bills, we've got to do this, we've got to do that, and blah, 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 blah. What this is actually saying to you is you need to go out of your way to find time for yourself. Whether it be 5 minutes to sit down and have a cup of coffee and just stare at the wall, or whether it's to take the afternoon off and set aside some time on the weekend to go and do something you want to do. Whether you go and drive to a nice park and take a little stroll around and just get back to nature, or maybe you actually want to go to the movies and actually, you know, who goes to the movies anymore? Because we don't have time. We don't have, I'd better spend that money elsewhere. You know, this is about taking some time for yourself and just slowing down a little bit, because we have this tendency that when there's so much going on, we stop thinking and we just react and we run around like chickens with our head chopped off. Okay, and that can lead to all sorts of bad things. But for your personal energy, for your personal happiness, you are scattering your energy in too many places. So this is really like you need to bring it back and be about yourself. And you need to take that time just to rest, okay? If you have the ability to go on a holiday, go for it. If you want to plan a holiday for later on, go for it. But the overall with this is that you need to take some time for yourself and just calm the hell down. And we all need to do that sometimes. We need to stop. Sometimes we need to stop and reflect. This is one of those times where we just need to stop for 5 minutes and get our thoughts together, get our energy together, okay? Now, the first actual card out, there we go, is learning. Okay, so this, I do feel like that there are some tests that are coming, okay? And that doesn't necessarily mean bad things. It just means that there's a life lesson, and I feel like it's just around the corner, which is why it's really important for you to get your energy back. Now, part of this learning that's coming up is actually how to juggle life with you in the mix. A lot of people are stressed to the max these days, but they get through everything. They juggle everything: housework, cleaning, work, shopping, all of that stuff. And that's great. That's fantastic. But it leaves you feeling stressed and anxious and like, where did my money go? And I've been working my ass off and I'd never stop, but I don't feel like I'm getting ahead. Okay, this again is a learning thing. You need to be able to throw in the mix some time for yourself, okay? If all you're doing is running around like a chicken with your head chopped off, it's very easy to fall into that category of, well, what's the point? I just keep working to pay bills and I'm not getting ahead because the bills are still there and I don't have any money left over and I can't do this and I can't do that. It's very hard to get overwhelmed with that, okay? So this is a life lesson. This is, look, life isn't always going to be simple and easy. I mean, it very rarely is, but whilst doing what you need to do, what you're supposed to do, work and all cleaning and all of that stuff, you still need to look after yourself. You still need to have time in there where, you know, you sit back for an hour and watch a movie or take some time for yourself. And it's getting worse in this day and age. People are so overwhelmed with so much work and so much stuff around them that even if you get a day off, you suddenly, I'm bored, I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. Because it's kind of like you're not resting, you're not relaxing, you're not taking that time for yourself. You kind of feel like you've been somebody's hit pause on your life, and it's like, well, I can't relax. I don't know what I want to do, because as soon as that's over and done with, I've got to get back to work, and I've got this to do and that to do, and you need to, this is what it is. It's a balancing act. You need to take that time for yourself. You need to find something for yourself, whether it be watch a movie, have a cup of coffee, maybe read a book. You just need to do something for yourself, something big every week, like take the afternoon off, like I said. But every day you need to be taking time for yourself. 5 minutes, whether you have that cup of coffee and you sit down and just stare at the wall and go, you still need that 5 minutes, okay? The lessons that are coming up, I think I'm getting drawn more to this with your personal energy. I feel like that there are some challenges coming up that you are going to be able to overcome very easily, but you'll do it more easily if you start getting that energy back, your personal energy back now, so that when whatever happens, you can deal with that, because you've got your own personal energy. Now, this challenge, it's not it's not something big and bad, like, oh my god, I'm going to lose my job, what do I do? No, I feel like that this is a personal challenge, where it's like somebody might come around that you really like or respect or love or whatever, and they put you down for some reason. And the challenge here is to understand that sometimes, you don't want to meet your heroes because they let you down, or it could be that, this person's being really mean to you, and the challenge here is to not let them get to you, or to understand that they're actually going through something and maybe you can help. Whatever, that's what I'm getting with this life lesson and challenge. Okay guys, like I said at the beginning, this camera, this energy, it's going cattywampus. It just turned off for absolutely no reason. So continuing on, the next card over is the spiritual path card. Okay, so this is where when we learn our lessons and we overcome obstacles, that's when we find our path and where we're supposed to be. So whatever this challenge, the learning is coming, it's learning. It's not a challenge card. It's not beware, something big and bad is going to happen. It's, you are learning about yourself, you are learning about life through whatever's coming. And again, it's not big and bad. I feel like you're going to find your spiritual path. So yeah, again, you're on the right path now, that's what it's saying. But over the next couple of weeks, there's going to be something that really shows you your future and where you're going. And it's kind of like, I feel like you're going to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So this is really, really good. But in order to get there in quicker and in a stronger way, you need to take some time for yourself, okay? Again, you need to take time, because even though you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, even though it doesn't look like you're getting anywhere, you actually are, okay? So you need to understand that, look, if you're not moving forward, you're standing still. If you're standing still and feel like you're making no progress, well, that's better than things going wrong and taking 2 steps back, right? So at least be aware that you are on the right path, because you're not going backwards. Now, there is a pregnancy card here. So this is, to me, I feel like there's a screaming urge to start something new. I want a new beginning. I want a new chapter. I want to move away and live with the fairies. I want a new job that all of this stuff. And I get it. I really, really do get it. But it's not happening at the moment. Now, the reason that it's not happening at the moment, this is the pregnancy card. It's upside down. So, it's kind of saying, look, learn first. You've got to go through this learning. Look after yourself. Learn how to look after yourself. Then when you've got that down pat, then you can start something new. Then there's going to be a new beginning. It's kind of like you need to look after yourself right now, in this moment, in this time. You need to be focusing on yourself and what you, like giving back your energy to yourself rather than scattering it around to everybody else. Once you get on top of this, and it is challenging, because a lot of times we're like, oh, excuse me, forget me, I don't have time, blah, 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 blah. And then when you do it, like, that seems nice and all, but you're hurting yourself by doing that. And then when you do have time to yourself, it's kind of like, well, you're so used to going 100 miles an hour that when you do stop, you're like, well, I'm lost, I'm confused, I don't know what to do. In that stage, when you are lost and confused or bored or whatever, when you're taking the time for yourself, remember, that's time for yourself where you're like, you've got to remind yourself, well, at least I'm not putting out a fire. At least there's not a drama going on right now in this time, in this space. I may be sitting here, I may be bored, but at least, you know, somebody hasn't stabbed my friend and nobody has broken into my house. Like, thank your blessings. And you've got to remind yourself that this is peace. When you've got nothing going on, it is peace. So just sit there. You don't even have to do anything. Just sit and relax and have a coffee and try and switch off your brain. Okay? That's what it's about, you know, taking deep breaths and slowing down, because you do need to slow down. Otherwise, you're just going to run yourself ragged, burn the candle at both ends, and then kaput. So later on, there is going to be a pregnancy, there is going to be a new start, there is going to be a new beginning, a new chapter, but you need to focus on yourself first, okay? As long as you're not hurting yourself or anybody else, then go with God. Guys, I really hope that helped. If you want a full reading, you can contact me through my website, thegreenspsychic.com, through the socials. I will be live every Sunday night on TikTok. For those that can, don't forget you can subscribe to TikTok, and that means you get, when I go live, you can ask a question and I'll answer it. Otherwise, yeah, enjoy the videos, and I will see you next week. Blessed be. Hi guys, Aaron Leaf Green, the Green Psychic. Thank you for joining me again for your free reading. Okay, if you chose pile number 2, don't stress out, but this is your reading. This is the separation card, okay? So, look, I do feel like that there is some sort of... Look, straight away when we see the separation card, we think of a relationship splitting up, or splitting up and going separate ways. Look, that's definitely on the cards, but I feel like that this separation, it's not a permanent thing, and I don't feel like it's like a romantic breakup. I feel like separation can be when you and your best friend have a disagreement. Not that you're fighting or something, but you're looking at something from 2 different points of view and have a difference of opinion. So sometimes when that happens, we're kind of like, oh, well, I'm so used to us being on the same wavelength that this is weird that we're not agreeing on the same thing. It doesn't mean that there's a conflict or a fight between the two of you, but that's what I'm picking up with the separation. It's feeling like a lack of connection. Something's missing. Now, it's not permanent. It's just something that's going to happen. Again, this is a bit of learning from the universe that, you know, regardless of how well you get along with a person, whether it be a friend, family member, or a relationship, you are going to have disagreements. You are going to have difference of opinions at times. Now, again, I don't feel like that this is a real big permanent separation, and I don't feel any big bad energy around it. Okay, so it is important. It's kind of like this is more about not even loneliness. It's that, oh, it's kind of like that shell shock. Oh, I didn't expect that from you. Like, you know, I'm talking about, let's say, politics. You know, furries. One person agrees that kids should be allowed to dress up as furries in school, and the other person's like, no, that's completely stupid. It's a security risk, and it's sending the wrong vibe to, you know. There's a difference of an opinion there, and with friends, you can normally have that difference of opinion, even if you discuss it, but agree that you each, you know, agree to disagree. And it's that kind of vibe that I'm getting. I'm not getting that you're going to each go and protest a school on either side of the picket fence, you know? Okay, anyway, moving on. See, there you go. First card is the heartbreak and sadness card upside down. So this is actually a reconciliation card. So where you've got separation, you've got the 2 halves of the heart coming back together. So look, romantically, this can actually speak of having a fight, having a split, and then coming back together. Okay, but this is also, like I said, this energy is a difference of an opinion. No big bad fight or anything, but you are going to come back together. Why this is coming up for you is because I do feel like it's, again, shell shock. It's a slap in the face. It's a shock that you weren't prepared for. Now, it doesn't mean that, you know, your feelings are getting hurt, or, you know, you're going to look at a person differently, but it's kind of that learning of, well, you know, yeah, people have difference of opinions. It could be that you end up agreeing with your friend. Actually, I never thought of it like that, and you jump on board with them, or vice versa. But there is just this shock going on. And look, if this is the worst thing that happens to you in the next week or so, then thank your blessings, okay? Look, see, this is love and romance. Again, if we're talking about romantically, there's a separation, there's coming back together, there's it all working out happily ever after. Because I do know of a couple of people that are going through situations like this. But look, this doesn't even have to just be romantically. It could be you've been separated from your family or friends, coming back together, having that great time and that love and that bond reconnecting. Okay, so there is a lot of positivity here, but whatever this separation is that you're going to go through, it's not going to be permanent, and it's going to end up teaching you some stuff, and then you're going to have profound new respect. So look, another quick metaphor or example with this is I happen to know of a young man that is going to lose their license soon from making silly mistakes. We've all been there. It's just in this day and age you can't get away with anything. So this separation could symbolize him separated from his license. Now, it's not a permanent thing. The band is going to be over and he's going to reconcile and be able to drive his license again, and he's going to have that profound new respect and love and understanding that you don't mess around with cars, you don't mess around with your license because it's so important and accidents can happen. I hope this explains what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now, the last card actually is the Danger card. This is the worst card you can get in my deck of cards. Okay. Now, I don't feel like this is predicting what is coming. Okay. I feel like that the universe is saying that this is the lesson. The way everything is happening, I feel like it could be so much worse. But that's kind of why, because even I was wondering, why the hell is this coming up as your weekly reading? It's a bit weird. But this is actually saying, I feel like this is saying that once you go through this separation and reconciliation, you need to take a step back and realize how well you have done and how well you have managed to avoid conflict. You've been an adult through the whole situation. You have that appreciation and respect, like you've learnt from a mistake or you've learnt from the past. And then there's this positivity and this joy where this bond comes back and you feel stronger and wiser. And this is kind of saying all of this could have gone sideways. You could have, like when we have that split, we could carry on like and have temper tantrums and rage and scream and it's not fair, blah, blah, blah. And you know, we could have this separation being permanent. It could be worse, like a relationship and partner. Well, if you're gonna, that's it. I don't want to see you ever again type situation. So this authority card is actually saying, be proud of yourself. The way you've handled the situation, it's a lot. You've done it in a lot more mature and a stronger way than you would have done in the past. And you need to understand that, because moving forward, it's kind of like, well, whatever challenge comes up, you're going to be able to handle it, because look at what's just happened. And there's also that, this I feel like is seeing the silver lining in everything bad that happens, because there always is a silver lining. There's always something to learn. And I feel like this card is saying, you're learning that, you're seeing that. And that's really important, because that puts you in a good headspace to move out into the world and to the next stage of your life, because understanding that, yes, crap happens, you know, shit happens, things go sideways, you know, it's messed up, but there's always a reason for everything. Whether we can see it at the time or we see it later on, there's a reason for everything, good and bad, okay? So yeah, look, again, this isn't symbolizing a really big, bad, confrontational conflict. I feel like it's saying, look, this could have been so much worse. So thank your blessings. Like, hypothetically, somebody crashes their car into a tree because they avoided a kangaroo. It could have been so much worse. You could have, like, and then they're like, oh, my new car, and blah, blah, blah. It could have been so much worse. You could have been killed in that car accident. You could have hit a person instead of a car, you know. There's always a silver lining there, and you need to be able to process that and understand that, instead of going, yeah, I know it could have been worse, but it still sucks. Yeah, it still sucks, but it could have been worse. You need to rearrange that thought process, because it's going to help you in the future. Okay? Guys, I really hope that helped. If you want a full reading, you can go to my website, theggreenpsychic.com, or through the socials. I'll be live TikTok every 7 p.m. every Sunday night. Again, guys, I'm adding subscription to TikTok. So if you do subscribe, when I go live, you get to ask me a question, or you get 3 cards. every time I go live on a Sunday night, okay? Don't forget to check out my personal friends, the Mystic Mums, over on TikTok and YouTube. They've got some amazing footage and recordings, and it's all legit because they are personal friends of mine. So go check it out. It's bloody creepy. But until next week, guys, I hope that helped, and blessed be. Hola! Hi guys, I've been the Green Psychic. I hope you guys are doing well. If you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. Okay, guys, this is the emotion card. So there is a lot of emotion going on this week. I feel like tempers are high. I feel like anxiety is high. I feel like yeah, look, it's like go, 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 go. That's what I'm getting. Now, I'd love to say to you that stop, calm down, breathe, count to 10, all of that stuff, but it's going to go in one ear and out the other, okay? Because you're just not going to do that. You know you need to, but you're not, because it's such a hard thing to do. You hear it all the time because it's such an easy thing to help, but it's such a hard thing to actually stop when we're running around like a chicken with our head chopped off. And take that 5 minutes, okay? So I'm going to leave that with you. But what this card is saying is you've got the black cat here. Now, the black cat is a spirit guide. It's a guide that's going to help you through this maze of emotion and help you balance everything and process, okay? So this is kind of like, look, you are going to make it through what you're going on, what's going on. You are going to make it through that. But you do need to process things, not just jump from one thing to the next. You really need to understand, like, okay, if you're fighting with this person over here, don't just be like, oh, whatever, I've got to go over here and finish baking a cake for the church banquet, whatever. What you need to do is, you know, focus on that fight. Okay, this person's grumpy. You know, take 5 minutes to go, okay, well, I'm not just going to take that as, oh, my best friend's yelling and screaming at me right now, I'm going to ignore them. No, why are they yelling and screaming? Is there something that you do need to attention there? Or is it that they're having a bad day and lashing out? Or is it that there's something going on behind the scenes that they're not ready to talk about yet that you need a bit of attention there? Okay, so it is kind of like, if you process, even if you take 5 minutes to process and think about what's going on there, it's going to help you process that and feel better about the situation, rather than just going, oh, my friend's yelling and screaming at me and now I'm over here baking this cake. Because you've got that pressure in the, you can't see what I'm doing off camera, but you've got that pressure behind you, kind of in your ear, and it makes you feel like, well, if anything goes wrong and you need to call your best friend, you can't right now because they're mental, and you're going to have to sort that out later on. As soon as you finish baking this cake, and what next do I have to do? I've got to go down there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even I was starting to get revved up. My breathing has increased, and I'm like, ah, ah, ah. Whereas if you process these things and go, okay, look, they're having a bad day, I'm just going to leave them because I understand, you know, there's a medical issue going on with their partner, so they're stressed. So I'm going to bake this cake and I'll let them cool down. I'll call them later and make sure everything's all right. Straight away, you can even hear it in my voice. I've calmed down and I'm breathing slower because I've processed that. Even though, yes, I'm just talking on the camera about, you know, things that don't exist. I put myself in that place and my energy slows down. So this is what I'm saying. This is how processing things around you will actually help, okay? So, yeah, you need to know when. There are going to be times where people are yelling and screaming at you that you don't need to process. So this is what the spirit guide is telling you. There are going to be times where you need to stop for 5 minutes and process what just happened, and there are going to be other things that you can just walk on by. Like if somebody if you're walking down the street and somebody turned around and goes, oh, look at your fucking outfit, you know, yeah, you can stop and process that, but that's something that I'd be like, whatever, and keep on walking. There are things that you need to process and other things that you don't, okay? So it is a balancing act, but that's where the spirit guide is there. That's what your gut instinct is going to tell you. If your gut instinct is saying, oh, my friend's screaming at me, but I don't have time right now, but I know there's something going on, that's where you need to stop and take 5 minutes. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to run to your friend's aid at the moment because you've still got stuff to do, but at least send them a message and going, look, I will call you this afternoon. I'm sorry, I'm flat out. I'll call you this afternoon. Oh, Jesus. Something smashed outside. yeah, I'll call you this afternoon. Just know that I love you, or and I'm thinking of you, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. It's that sort of a message that you need to pass on. Okay, so I did flip that over the wrong way. Actually, I'm going to pull another card. Because when I pulled this out originally, I went to put it down positive, and I just flipped it up negative. So I'm going to pull a different card because that's just going to confuse me straight off the bat. I'd laugh if it was the same card. Alright, so yeah, look, this is a pregnancy card. This is saying don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't take on too much right now because there's only so much you can do. Okay? This is saying don't start anything new. Don't put into place any plans for the future. Don't agree to anything that you can't, like right now. Just, I'll get back to you when I can. Okay? Don't agree to things just off the fly, because then later on it's going to be like, oh my god, I have to do this and this and this, I just need 5 minutes to myself. This is what it's saying. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Okay, so if people are inviting you somewhere or asking for your help, be like, look, I will get back to you, I'll let you know. It shouldn't be a problem, but if it is, I'll let you know. Okay, at least take that sort of a stance when, you know, but don't put your hand up and take on any new responsibilities right now. Don't overdo, because I feel like, again, you're already going through so much. You need stuff to be taken off your plate, not to put more stuff on your plate. Okay, now this card is a succubus card. It's one of the suckiest cards you can get. You can see there's a monster there draining the energy from the person. That's exactly what's going on right now. You're running around like a chicken with your head chopped off. Your energy is going to help your friend over here that's having, you know, a meltdown and yelling and screaming at you, and then you're going over here to help bake that cake for the church fair that you're helping out, and then you've got to go to work, and then you've got to look after your family, and, you know, every time we do that, we're investing energy in all these different things, and that drains the crap out of us. That's why it's like you've got to be able to process things, and when you process things, it's also going to be, okay, what actually needs my attention? I offered to bake this cake, but, like, I'm running, I literally don't have time to do it. You know, I can ask a friend to do it, or maybe I can let them know that I'm not actually going to be able to donate a cake this week. And somebody else over there, you know, learn when to let go of things, and find a better way of doing it. But it is, you need to take time for yourself throughout your day. I tell everybody, you need at least 5 minutes during the day where you just sit down and have a cup of coffee and stare at the bloody wall, where you just switch off and get your energy back, get your focus back. Take 5 minutes. And most people don't do that until they're actually exhausted and need to sit down. That's different than taking 5 minutes. That's more the concept of, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'll rest when my body can't do it anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to proactively take that 5 minutes for yourself before your body runs out of energy, before your mind shuts down because, oh my god, I can't do anything more today. You need to proactively do that to avoid this sort of a scenario. Now, the last card is the positivity and positive energy. Now, I do want to say that this is great. Everything's working out. Nobody's pissed off. Nobody's angry. You've got it. But look how many people are on this card. They're all cheering for you because you've helped all of these different people and you've done all of these different things. Again, I say to you, you need to work out what a priority is and what isn't. You need to work out what you need to be focusing on what is just a distraction that's been thrown at you that you want to help out with, okay? Doing all of this and not taking any more on, reflecting and getting rid of this energy sucking thing, you're going to be in a very positive place. It's kind of that concept that you need to help yourself before you can help anybody else. All right, so take some time for yourself of a day, like I said, 5 minutes, stare at the wall because your brain can't process anything. Take that 5 minutes, you know, once a week. Take an afternoon for yourself or a morning for yourself on the weekend where you just go and do your own thing. Whether that's something completely random, like get in your car, go for a drive, find a nice park, and just sit on the grass or walk through the trees or drive to the beach. You know, do something out of the normal just for yourself, so you've got that time to live, basically. Okay, guys, I really hope that helped. If you want a full reading, you can contact me at thegreenscientific.com or through the socials. Don't forget, I will be live every Sunday night on TikTok. You can now subscribe to my TikTok channel, which means when I do go live, you get to ask me a question and I'll answer it. Otherwise, I normally just pull a general card for anybody that puts down their name and where they're from. Don't forget to check out Mystic Mums on TikTok and on the socials. They're personal friends of mine. They're paranormal clearing specialists. They are awesome and they are legit. So go check them out. Until next week, guys, blessed be.